So why have we shifted from the trust but verify mantra to a zero trust model?
So that came during the Reagan years when Reagan was negotiating with, at that time, the Soviet Union and Gorbachev, if memory serves, if we can all remember those times back in the early 80s. And Reagan's mantra was trust. We'll trust you, Gorbachev, but we want to verify, that you're doing the things you're saying you're going to be doing. And I think the world has changed a lot. If Reagan were to in my opinion, if he were to rephrase that in today's environment, he'd probably say, he'd reverse the order of those words: verify, then maybe trust. So we live in a very different world now, especially with technologies and all of the proliferation of IoT devices and the ransomware attacks that businesses are vulnerable to. And this zero trust model is that there could be a threat to the endpoints or to the assets. And so what this requires is continuous monitoring. We got to have a more active, vibrant, continuous monitoring program to ensure, both from an authentication perspective, that if someone has connected to our environment, that is that person really who he or she says they are, and how do we prove that? So that's from authentication of a person, and then also the devices that are connected to our computing ecosystem. How do we know that these are all approved devices that are allowed to come into our ecosystem? Because more and more businesses, if you look at the IT infrastructure, we are working with multiple cloud service providers. You may be working with Amazon or Google or Salesforce or Azure or whatever that environment might be. That's the cloud service environment on one side. And then you could have a multitude of mobile devices, right? And so got to make sure that that ecosystem is being authenticated and that access is being verified on a continual basis. That's the zero trust model that we've got to be aware of and ensure that we are, in fact, implementing those capabilities appropriately.